Hello dear children, today I am going to discuss the poem Wind by Chinnaswami Bharati. This is the picture of the poet Chinnaswami Bharati. Before we start analyzing the poem, let's read about the author. The full name of the author is Chinnaswami Bharati. He was also known as Bharatiyar. He was a Tamil writer, poet and journalist. He also was an Indian independence activist and a social reformer from Tamil Nadu. His numerous works were fiery songs kindling patriotism and nationalism during the Indian independence movement. In this poem Wind, the author advises us to be strong in mind as well as body. The wind in the poem symbolizes the difficulties and challenges that we face in our life. The poet suggests that we should face all of them boldly and stay firm in difficult situations. The poem Wind by Chinnaswami Bharati can be summarized in the following ways to prove the fact that he wants to prove through the poem. First fact is violence and destruction. Although the poet requests the wind to blow gently, but it does not accept the plea. The wind blows violently and causes destruction. And what is the result of the storm? The wind breaks the shutters of weak windows. It scatters the papers and throws down books on the shelves. Fun of Almighty Wind God. The poet has regarded wind as a god in this poem. He says that he makes fun of the weak persons and things. The fast-blowing wind destructs weak houses, weak doors and weak bodies. That is why the poet advises us to stay firm in difficult situations and have strong mind and body. And what does Chinnaswami Bharati suggest? That we build strong houses and we must be healthy physically and mentally. It will help the wind to be a friend. To sum up the poem, people with strong physique and mind are able to stand and face odds or obstacles of life. Weak people will obviously be destroyed by a strong wind. Wind in this poem is a symbol of destruction. A fast-blowing wind can destroy anything that comes in its path. That is how it is a symbol of destruction. And the works of destruction by the wind are, some of them, scattering of papers, throwing down books on a shelf, tearing pages of books, heavy rainfall, and it might also lead to floods, which are in turn very destructive. I'll analyze the poem and make you understand what it actually is all about. A house is battered by wind all night, so isolated in the middle of the tumult that it seems like it's out at sea. There is a house which is battered by wind throughout the night. The surrounding landscape and woods also suffer the wind's onslaught. Whatever surrounds the house also suffers at the hands of the wind. In the morning, the wind has metaphorically rearranged the hills and wields the light with the motions of a madly swiveling eye. At this point, two verses in the poem are in the first person. As the narrator edges along the side of the house, he looks into the wind, feeling it dent his eyeball. It seems to make the whole landscape quiver and shiver, threatening to suddenly make it vanish with a flap. It also knocks some birds around. So these are all the destructions caused by a fast-blowing wind. The house rings in the wind like a goblet ready to shatter from the noise. The speaker and the other people in the house are unable to concentrate on reading, thinking or talking to each other, as the feeling of the wind is very overwhelming. It seems as if it's moving the roots of the house and causes even the stones to cry out under the horizon, as the poet says it. Strong winds cause a lot of destruction and damage, but its energy can be of great use once we make friends with it. This we can do by taking proper precautions and measures. For instance, we can build stronger homes, keeping in mind the fatalities of the wind. We can also build windmills to harness its energy that can be used to generate electricity. So the point that the poet is trying to make here is that the enormous energy of the wind can be used for generating electricity. And how can we save ourselves from the strong wind? By building stronger houses. Now, the poetic devices used in the poem. The first is anaphora, when two or more consecutive lines start with the same word, that is anaphora. Ekphrasis, it is the vivid description of a scene through the imaginative act of narrating and reflecting on the action wherein the poet may amplify and expand its meaning. The third poetic device used is metaphor. The entire poem Wind is a metaphor because there is an implied comparison between the wind and the hardships, difficulties and challenges of life. So, a comparison is being drawn down throughout the poem. Personification, when animate qualities are given to inanimate objects, or we can say human-like qualities are attributed to inanimate object, that is personification. Apostrophe, it is the poetic device in which the poet addresses an absent person, an abstract idea, or a thing. That is the end of the chapter, dear children. Hope you have understood. Thank you.